Check 1, 2. Okay, thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. We're going to have Commissioner Shaw Williams lead us in our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Secretary, can we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Patrick,
Here.
Commissioner Shaw Williams,
Here.
and Chairman Springs.
Here. Any communications from staff?
Yes, Chairman, we received communication that Commissioners Trejo and Rice would not be in attendance tonight. Also, would like to note a clarification on item 7A on the agenda. It references two design review numbers. The correct number is design review 2022-010. And then lastly, we received notice that the South Bay Cities Council of Government is going to be hosting a housing webinar series starting in January. And so we'll be providing information on that in the coming weeks or month.
All right, thank you. Okay, we have any public comments regarding agenda items. Any person wishing to address the Planning Commission on any items on the agenda other than the public hearing may do so at this time. Operator, can you open up the phone lines, please?
If you wish to make a comment, please press #2 on your telephone keypad. Please press #2. There are no comments at this time.
Thank you. We're going to close this segment, and we need an approval for our minutes for October 5th, 2022.
Motion. I motion that we approve the minutes for October 5th, 2022. Second.
It's been properly moved in second. We're calling for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for our vote.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Springs.
Aye. Madam Secretary, item 6.
6A, a public hearing to consider General Plan Amendment 2022-002 to update the safety element of the Inglewood General Plan preliminary recommendations. This item is postponed to the December 7th, 2022 meeting.
Do we need a motion on that for the postponement? Okay, thank you. Okay, non-public hearing.
Non-public hearing, 7A, Design Review 2022-010 to allow exterior alterations to an existing one-story commercial building on an HC Historic Core Zone property at 213 South La Brea Avenue.
Chairman Springs and Commission, the file is present and notice has been given in the form and manner as required by law. Staff received no correspondence from the public on this item, and Assistant Planner Angel Leon Martel is present to do a short staff presentation.
Good evening, Chairman Springs and members of the Planning Commission.
Good evening.
The subject site is zoned HC, or Historic Core. It's within the downtown transit-oriented development plan. The property is surrounded by commercial and educational uses. The existing commercial building is located on an approximately 7,500 square foot lot on La Brea Avenue. The commercial building has frontage with a 0-foot setback along the easterly property line, abutting La Brea Avenue. That's the image just at the bottom there. There are 2 pedestrian entrances along La Brea Avenue and the third centered at the rear of the building. The rear building is the top right picture. Vehicle access is via an alley on the west side of the lot, also in that same picture. Just a second. There we go. Commercial building, exterior improvements include the consolidation of the pedestrian entrances to one primary entrance, installation of a column to mark the entrance, new concrete planters under the windows and adjacent to the entrance. The window base will be raised. Portions of the windows on the north and south edges will be replaced with stucco walls, overlaid with a planted green screen. The building facade below the awning will be finished in white stucco paint. New glazing is proposed. Black frame windows will be installed. The proposed exterior improvements also include painting and water treating the existing awning in a dark paint color that adds contrast to that of the building walls. Above the awning, a perforated, powder-coated, and curved aluminum sheet will cover the top of the building wall up to the roof line. In the rear, parking lot improvements, accessibility improvements, building access, bicycle parking, and a new trash enclosure are proposed. And that's the elevation at the bottom. Staff has determined the exterior improvements comply with the office frontage design guidelines of the Downtown Transit-Oriented Development Plan by providing the following list of features. No blank walls on the building, awnings, windows are going to be transparent. It's going to be universal access to all users. There's an enclosed trash area proposed. It's going to be a new entry with a setback. Handicap parking is to be provided, and the primary entrance is being consolidated to just one. Material selections for the primary entrance include plaster, concrete, steel frame windows, and green screens. And this picture depicts a closer look at that primary entrance off La Brea Avenue. The project meets the design review standards in that adequate traffic and pedestrian access will be maintained. The site can be directly accessed via La Brea Avenue and the alley. Emergency access will not be impacted. There will be no change to the commercial building footprint. Building elevations are compatible, and as proposed, the site will provide landscaping, as conditioned, be maintained in proper condition. The Planning Commission approves the request. The applicant will be required to complete the site plan review process. The proposed development will provide interior and exterior cameras throughout the site. Exact number of the location and number of cameras will be determined during site plan review. No public comments have been received. The proposed project is consistent with elements of the general plan. and the notice of exemption has been prepared, and the project is exempt from further environmental review. All right, this concludes staff's presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Okay, thank you, Angel. Are we going to open up for questions for you? We're going to start with Commissioner Patrick.
Thank you. We certainly need an urgent care since there aren't any trauma hospitals in Inglewood. So we really need this. But you said there's going to be handicap parking. If I remember correctly, when you enter the back, I would imagine that's going to remain. It's not only entrance to 213 and what is now 219, it's also entrances, well, an entrance for all of the other buildings, whoever is going to occupy them. Will that remain so?
So,
The alley entrance?
yeah, the alley entrance is right now basically it's just open.
Yeah.
That whole back area is open. So the applicant is kind of proposing like a perimeter wall to kind of separate the buildings from, like, I think there's a women's retail store next door. So
Yeah,
there will be one to separate the parking so that, people who need to access the urgent care will be able to disseminate, which parking lot to go to.
Because the alley also is an entrance further down, I think it's 223 or something, entrance for that building as well. So, I mean, all
Right,
of them
right.
enter through the alley.
Right, pretty much I think on that block, all of the buildings that are at that block pretty much just have just wide open to the alley. Yeah.
You mentioned handicap parking. Where is the other parking going to be?
So
And how
both
many?
both handicap parking and regular parking, regular required on-site parking are going to be in that area. So handicap parking, for every 25 parking spaces, they're required one handicap parking space.
How many parking places will there be?
I believe it's 8. And we
I
can,
know this is just for the design review, but I was just curious.
right.
'Cause it doesn't seem as if there's many places around there to park. But you've answered my questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Shaw Williams.
Yes, he answered my question too with regards to how many parking spaces, but I was curious about the operating hours. Even though I know it's a design review, do we know what the hours will be for the urgent care?
Yes, when I spoke to the doctor who's going to operate the office, he explained to me that, like, the weekly hours are generally going to be between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And eventually, as they get more clientele or the business grows, probably 6 or 7. And then on the weekends, it'll be until 5 p.m.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sure.
No further questions.
I have no questions. Is the applicant available?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Angel. If the applicant is available, could you give us your name and tell us about your project?
Hello, I'm Brian Moran from Aero Collective. We are the architects on the project, and we're excited about bringing this product to the city. Our offices are a block away here on Market Street. Dr. Lecour was moving his office from Lemert Park and has settled on buying and owning this property on South La Brea, and we're really excited about the renovation of an existing, really nice mid-century modern building and upgrading it to be compatible with all the great things that are going in the downtown. Those, as Angel and staff has elucidated, was a lot of the ADA upgrades. So bringing everything up to code and access from the rear. So one comment just for access. So what we've done on this building is create a new ADA access both from the front and from the rear, so that there's all the commercial spaces that are going to be leased will have a central courtyard or central walkway that will then access it, so that everyone can have ADA access. It's one of the challenges in these old buildings. Along the front face along La Brea, we've kept the basic bones of the building, but really wanted to update the elevation to show what's going on with the new tenants. We've added the new entrance some plantings to kind of soften it because it is right on La Brea and it can get very busy along there. And then the new elevation has a contemporary perforated metal facade above the awning, further kind of updating that mid-century elevation. I think staff has covered most of the other topics, but we're happy to answer any other questions that the commissioners have.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to open up for questions. We're going to start off with Commissioner Patrick.
Usually urgent care centers in certain areas are tied to certain hospitals. Is that going to be true with this one?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to have a relationship with Centinela Hospital, and also there's a Kaiser facility on La Brea, just literally across the street. So we'll have some relationship with some of the existing ERs and medical facilities in Inglewood, Centinela, and Kaiser specifically. Those are relationships that we'll be forging in the community.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Shaw Williams.
I'm not sure if this was covered. How many physicians will be on location at this urgent care? And it's a very nice facility. I like the design.
So there'll always be at least one physician in-house.
Mm-hmm.
And as the practice grows, there'll be a physician and a medical extender, which would be either a physician assistant or a nurse practitioner. But we plan on always having a physician on site.
At least.
A medical doctor.
Okay. All right.
At
Thank
least
you.
one.
Thank you.
I have no questions. Thank you very much. Is there a motion on the floor for this?
Motion. I move that the Planning Commission affirm the categorical exemption EACE 2022107 and adopt the attached resolution approving DR 2022-010 subject to 9 conditions and/or conditions as deemed appropriate.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved in second. We'll call for any questions. Hearing none, we'll call for a vote.
Commissioner Patrick,
Aye.
Commissioner Shaw Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Springs,
Aye. Ms. Wilcox?
Yes, according to the Inglewood Municipal Code, this decision can be appealed by the applicant within 10 days from the notice of Planning Commission action by filing a written notification to the Planning Division and submitting an appeal fee of $389, at which time the file will be transmitted to the City Council for their consideration.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations, you have your plan review, your design review. I look forward to driving by and looking at it, actually. Okay. We're having public comments. Anyone wishing to address the Planning Commission on any matters within their jurisdiction or not elsewhere considered on the agenda may do so at this time. Operator, can you open up the phone lines?
Please press pound 2 on your telephone keypad if you wish to make a comment. Pound 2 will indicate that you wish to make a comment. There are no comments at this time.
Thank you. We're going to close this segment. We're going to open it up for commissioners' initiatives. We'll start off with Commissioner Patrick.
I know everyone thinks I'm going to say something about that Popeyes that just opened on 8th Avenue, but I'm not. I think you know how I feel about that. I'd like to encourage all of you, please go out and vote. Vote for the candidate of your choice, but please vote. It's very important, and I'm sure all of you, if you haven't done so already, you will do so by November 8th. Thank you.
Commissioner Shaw Williams.
Yes, I'm going to co-sign with Commissioner Patrick to get out and vote and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, I'm going to triple it then. It's, this election is not, it's one of the most important elections that we've had in a long time. And I know you hear the words, how important the elections are, but this one is extremely important. So not only the commissioners, but staff, we're all encouraging everyone to go out and vote. It's very, very important. You know what's on the ballot. You know what's at stake for our democracy. So you need to go out and vote. Those are my comments. I think the city is growing. I don't know about the Rams, but I'm not going to say what I had to say. I was so disappointed, but they'll be okay. Other than that, our meeting is adjourned.